Firstly, as I said, it's a very sort of unknown or unaware of to most of us, this part of history. Tell us a bit more about it and what made you want to write the show.
Well, it's about time we tell the story of Mauritius. I keep saying that Mauritius is not just those beautiful beaches and white sand and beautiful pineapples and mangoes. Mauritius, I would like to think, Mauritius is the center of the world. And our history is still having such a global repercussion all over the world still now. Talk about sugar, talk about immigrant being in London, the global mobility. We did that in Mauritius some 2 centuries, 3 centuries ago, and we're still doing it. And yeah, I want to tell that story. And therefore, when I tell the story of Mauritius, and I'm committed to tell the story from then to now.
Okay, so give us a bit more idea of the specific context then and the plot that we get taken on in this play.
Oh gosh, what kind of plot is it? It's a plot about 5 people meeting, wanting to do a play, and our unique feelings, emotions and experience, our complex psychology get together to be common, to share, to kind of listen to each other. This is the plot. This is the plot, is us bouncing back, and oh my gosh, we're going to have an audience. There's more people going to bounce back. It's a conversation. That's the plot. The plot about being who we are, where we are, why we are here. It's about me, it's about you, it's about...
There's kind of 2 layers, aren't there? I mean, on one level, it is a story about an indentured migrant, a nameless figure who we see travelling from India to Mauritius in the 19th century, and how that journey of migration happens. And in many ways, that's a very, very simple story, but also one that's hugely resonant with so many other migrations that have happened around the world. And then parallel with that is the story Nisha's talking about, which is our own story as we encountered the history and as we made the play. So 5 very, very different performers. 2 of them are Mauritian, 1 of them is Black African, the other 2 are white, 1 of them British, 1 of them, it emerges, is Irish. And how that history resonates with them, the questions of identity that it throws up for them, the challenges it presents them in terms of how do we tell these stories, who owns the story, what does it mean for all of us now in multicultural London. That's really at the nub of it.
I suppose then it's very much an ensemble work. It's the way the characters interact with each other and talk about their personal history, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we say that it's created by Nisha. It's actually created by Nisha, 4 other actors, me, the designer. There is no single writer. The piece is devised, and so it's a story being told from lots and lots of different viewpoints, and we're all coming at it from very distinct directions, which I think is what we have to do now, because the story's history can't be owned by any one group or any one person anymore. It has to be about multiple viewpoints.
The play takes us back to the 19th century, but it's very much a play that's incredibly relevant today and will speak to a lot of people now, more so than perhaps ever.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I travel on the train every morning, and while I'm in rehearsal, I feel like I'm standing tall and I'm going like, oh my gosh, I'm telling your stories and you're listening to me, and it's like this weird conversation. For the first time, I'm not being a North London girl, though I'm Mauritian. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm actually picking my eyes up and looking at people. And what was the question again?
How relevant it is for today.
Yeah, that's it. That's the relevancy. The relevancy is actually to be looking at each other, going like, hey, let's communicate. There are things to be said. Let's not just do shopping list for Sainsbury. Let's not just go, you know, on Ammo. There's more things than just that mundane tickaboo thing. We are much more deeper. We've got much more interesting things to communicate to each other. Life is so... Life pulls you as an actor. You know, you never do this. You always give. So it's like... in the midst of giving. And I think, you know, that's yeah.